I'm starting to get scam emails. I'm starting to get some very involved scam emails. I'm starting to get scam emails where it's like, hey, you've lost access to your channel. And but also you've lost access to advanced features of your channel. So by the way, because you've lost access to advanced features of your channel, you might want to go ahead and send us a picture of your ID. Yeah, they've somebody's trying to scam me to get a photo of my passport. It's pretty impressive actually. Well, what's funny is that I've there's no reason to scam me, but somebody just wants to know who I am, and I'm pretty impressed. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's stream. As I mentioned earlier, or maybe yesterday or something, today is going to be a Canada Day themed stream. Despite the fact that it's not Canada Day, it's because I was too late for Canada Day. I was gone. I was busy. Life hits you fast, and sometimes you don't catch the ball fast enough, and then all of a sudden you're like the baseball player that gets hit in the head by like a screwdriver, and you're on the floor. What's interesting is that while I was gone, I didn't even celebrate Canada Day. Like I was just like I didn't even want to celebrate it. And what's funny is that nobody really celebrated Canada Day. It was kind of weird how empty and quiet Canada Day was for the most part around my area, at least as well as among the people that I know of. I think Canada Day celebrations are really cool if you're new to the country or you're younger because it's a new experience. But after the first maybe 5 times, you eventually realize, and this is true of all celebrations, okay? I'm not yucking people's yum, but you eventually realize all celebrations of this kind is just you standing in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of other people surrounded and crowded until something happens and then you all go home. I'm not even kidding you. That you just all go home. New Year's, Christmas, Canada Day, it's all the same thing. I remember when I was younger, my sister, mind you, she's like 10 years older, okay? So she's like 20 something. She's like pregnant with her first child. And when she's pregnant, I don't know how to say this without sounding misogynistic, but it's not misogynistic. Basically, what I'm trying to say is when you're pregnant, there's a lot of things happening to your body that changes the way that you are. It changes how you think. And so she was like, hey, I want to go see fireworks. Mind you, it was New Year's. I was like, you want to what? And she's like, yeah, I'm bored. I want to go see New Year. I want to go see fireworks. Mind you, she's in like the seventh semester or something. She's like in the 7th month of her like pregnancy, okay? The baby's about to pop out, my like baby niece. And she's like, yeah, like I want to go see some like cool stuff. And I was like, okay, that's kind of scary. So so she convinced me, and so we went. I spent the entire night making sure that nobody bumped into her belly. I was like I would put my arm out, and I was like, pregnant lady, pregnant lady, pregnant lady. There's like a pregnant lady coming, and I was like, Jesus, can we never do this ever again? We went to the downtown one, and she wanted to go to the front to see everything, and I was like, oh my god, why are you doing this to me? So yeah, it's interesting because after we did that, we saw the fireworks. He's like, "Okay, time to go home." I was like, "I don't even get to get McDonald's." So we just went home. And this was back when Uber Eats wasn't like a thing. Okay, so you couldn't just order McDonald's afterwards. Like there was just no food, so it was just like, oh. But that's what every single of these. That's what every single one of these celebrations are. So, in light of that, I like to try to make it more fun compared to what it normally is. Because normally it sucks. Also, I've got some interesting insights for you all. How many of you are currently dating people? How many of you are currently trying to date people? Because every single dating story that I've heard is absolutely insane. And I finally have a way to say this that makes total sense because I have multiple friends telling me about their dating experiences. Dating apps are like an incestuous pool of candidates who all seem to know each other in some way. And I don't know how to explain this in a way that makes sense. Dating is a social construct. No, it's you're a loser. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Dating is a social construct, buddy. You're a loser. I'm just kidding. That was mean. Sorry. That was mean. Real and true, babe. Kiss a homie featuring Jack Black. Can you please stop using the Jack Black thing? I added the Jack Black thing because I was in like a Minecraft movie fugue state, and now I kind of regret you using the Kiss a homie featuring Jack Black thing. But also, I still like. There was a 69 scene. Like it was a 69 joke and a 69 scene inside that movie. That movie was shit. By the way, I don't know why that movie, like, I guess Minecraft, but it's like, dude, like, okay, two things: the dating and then kids movies. I'm gonna say for both. Okay, one for the dating thing, the thing that I've seen the most. There's a reason that I added it. That's true. There's a reason that I added it. I was in a fugue state. The thing I've seen from the dating scene is that when you're on the dating app, everybody knows everybody else on that dating app because the chances of a date going well and you finding your partner is infinitesimally small compared to the reality that you're just not going to get along with most people. We live in a society, but that also means that we don't get along with each other perfectly, right? On some level, we're gonna hate somebody else or just like not want to like be that close with somebody else, but we can be cordial with each other because we live in a society. Like you can still be respectfully polite. But what happens when you apply that to a dating app, and what I've noticed from the stories that my friends have told me is that they will date somebody who has dated somebody else that they know, who also they found from the dating app, who also dated somebody that all three people dated. And it's like, I don't know how this is, but everybody is finding, it's like a web. And then if you draw out the connections, it literally looks like a family tree that has incest in it. It's crazy. It's like the lines go back and forth. And I don't understand how this happens or why nobody is going crazy about it. Because it's like, I wouldn't, like, I don't know. It's like, it's crazy how many people are connected to each other by like one or two steps just because they've like happened to go on a date with somebody who happened to go on a date with somebody who happened to go on a date with somebody else. It's weird. But it maybe it's only weird for me because I'm a loser. If it weren't for my wife, I'd be incredibly introverted. Like very introverted. Like my wife and I are very introverted to the point where we don't really like to interact. And so for me to see it, it's like this is like too much back and forth happening. Now for the kids movies, okay? Back in my day, kids movies were like this. I'm gonna show you. Bubba Bo, and Bubba Bo. You can't see it yet. This was the kids movies from my days. This was, and I'm not even kidding you. You're going to recognize this actor as being a very well-known actor now. Who I still can't believe he was in that movie. This is that's the werewolf from Twilight. This is Shark Boy and Lava Girl. This was the kids movie back then. Okay, I'm just saying. I feel like the kids movies back then were much more like they were attempting to say something. They were attempting to tell something, or even like a monogamous polycule. You know, you're onto something. You're onto something with what it is there. There's something there. I'm gonna take some time to think about what that is, but I think you're onto something with that idea of like dating and dating apps is just a monogamous polycule. There's also this movie from my childhood, another classic movie, Spy Kids, right? These movies I felt like were trying to say something. Like they were trying to say some weird, deep message despite being, you know, movies that are made for fun. Like, you wouldn't believe it, but this movie is about a kid whose family is torn apart. This movie is about a kid whose family is falling apart, and like, you know, the father and the mother are not getting along, and like, you know, it isn't looking good for him, and he's about to be all alone in the world. And so he like makes up these like two people who eventually become real in order to have somebody there in his life to support him because he's all alone. He's just this like lonely kid with no support structure in his life, and everyone's left him. And you wouldn't believe it, but this is a movie about reconnecting with family, about learning about who the family really is, and about understanding what it means to be family, and sort of like building the bonds with each other and looking past the superficial to look towards the important stuff. Whereas like Minecraft movie, I don't get the point of it. Like, no joke. I think the entire point of the Minecraft movie was just get Steve home. It was just get Steve home. It was Steve all the way. There was a mini plot line involving the kids not having like much of a family structure, and like the sister, like she looked way too young to be the older sister who's like working. But I digress, because it's like I'm pretty sure if I look at my coworkers, if I go back to the office now, I would be like, wow, you guys look really young, even though they're all like 22 and 23, because it's like, you know, time just moves forward, right? But that movie, besides that plot point, like they dropped it immediately. Okay, like this is just my Minecraft movie fugue state rant. I feel like there was nothing about the Minecraft movie that should have made it popular. It was just funny because of Jack Black and singing stuff. Is that Mr. Bean on the right? Holy shit, is that Mr. Bean? Spy? Wait, who is Mr. Bean? Mr. Bean. No, no, sorry, that's not Mr. Bean, but it does look. It looks very similar. Actually, it looks very similar. Rowan Atkinson does look like this guy. It's not Rowan Atkinson. Well, it is, but it's basically this is Spanish Rowan Atkinson. Spy Kids antagonist. What's his name again? Let's see. Spy Kids antagonist. Alexander Minion. No, what's his? His name is Fegan Floop. Fegan Floop, who is Fegan Floop actor. His name is Alan Cumming. Holy shit! His name is Alan Cumming. That's really good. Jesus Christ, what a name. Alan, 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 I'm coming. Alan, Alan, I'm coming. Alan. Do you think God stays in heaven because he is too afraid of what he's created best? Exactly. You know, yeah, that's a real quote from the movie. That's a real quote from Spy Kids. Do you think God stays in heaven because he too is afraid of what he's created? You would think that comes from like the ancient Greek epics. You would think that that came from Beowulf or something, right? No, it came from Spy Kids. Fucking Spy Kids. Now, Minecraft movie had nothing. All Minecraft movie had was like la 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 lava, chicken. That's it. Dick Cummings would be next level. Dick Cumming. Dick. Oh, okay. Don't search Dick Cumming. Okay, don't search Dick Cumming. Okay, that was a bad. Okay, that was a bad. That was a bad search. That was a bad search. Oh, okay. Well, the images are interesting. Here we go. Richard Cummings Jr. Why is Dick the nickname for Richard, by the way? Does anyone know? Richard Cummings Jr. is an American actor and film director, most recognized for his acting roles in the dramas 30-something and Northern Exposure. Also, for every person that dreams of the light bulb, there's one who dreams of the... What? Is that a real quote? For every person that dreams of the... For every person that dreams of the light bulb, there's one who dreams of the atom bomb. Is that a real quote for the movie? Mr. Electric. Oh my god. This is gonna get me DMCA, so I'll just pause the VOD here. Wow. That's in a kids movie. Thank you, Senior Bell, from the movie. Thank you, Senior Bell. What is this? I love clicking on these random channels. Eye of Cthulhu in China. Blood thinks he's the Weeknd. What is this? Wow, this is so shit. It doesn't even play. I do quite like the fact that if I click on a video, for some reason, Shorts takes me to a whole different place. The Eye of Cthulhu in China. What is this? What is this? What the? Okay, that's amazing. That's actually funny. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is awooga. That's super awooga. I love clicking on random channels. That's really good. Okay, well, you know what? Apparently, that movie had the best writer in the entire world. They just had to keep on going with it, and they did. But it's crazy how many of those lines sort of like pass you by, and you only realize later when you're an adult, like, damn, that hits hard. But also, it's funny because if you look at the phrases themselves, right? They're not insanely deep, but it's like I'm 13 and this is deep. You know what I mean? Like it has depth, but it's a very clear, obvious hole in the ground. It's not like I think, therefore I am. When you say I think, therefore I am, that's not I'm 13 and this is deep. That's like someone's entire life's work culminating in a single sentence that best describes their attempt at describing existence and consciousness and like being. You know what I mean? Versus like one person dreams of the atom bomb, one person dreams of the light bulb. It's like, yeah, man, Oppenheimer and Thomas Edison, you know, they probably lived at the same time. I don't know. They're both old. Dick Cummings, lecturer, Strode College. You hope this person is real. Dick Cummings, Strode College. You know what's crazy? Holy shit. You know what's crazy? He could be... You could actually... Okay. POV porn parody. Dick Cummings, lecturer, Stroke College. Stroke College. Like he could start stroking off at the Stroke College. Wait! How come there's no game called Stroke College? Stroke College. There's no porn... You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Wait. I need to make sure that like, I get to the right file. You know what time it is. Let's see. Stroke College. Porn game about how okay, do any of you know this rumor? And I don't know if it's a well-founded rumor, but I've heard this rumor constantly, and so I can't look at them the same way. I've heard that nurses and doctors have sex a lot because it's a very stressful job, and so they're having sex all the time inside the hospital. The problem is that now that I know that, I can't look at my doctor or the nurses in a normal light anymore. Because it's like now I know too much about you. Like, I know that everybody has sex, right? And so you can imagine anybody that you see having sex. Like, imagining somebody having sex is possible because everybody has sex. But my doctor and my nurse is responsible for keeping me alive, and so it feels parental in a way. Like, it's weird. Anyways, porn game about how porn game parodying the possible myth or reality of doctors and nurses being horny freaks due to the stress of their jobs. A setting is a medical school where people have sex constantly for anatomy lessons. Main character is named Dick Cummings. Called Dick Cummings at Stroke College. Thank you, chat. Thank you for giving me the best idea in the entire world. Because I don't know about you, but I've seen like a lot of like porn parody games. Have you guys seen the like grandpa one? I posted an image of the grandpa one, which I thought was hilarious. Let's see, grandpa, granddad, grandpa, grand. I fucked your grandpa. Steam, I fucked your grandpa or something. Was it Steam? I'll fuck your grandpa. I'll fuck your Steam sales. Well, how come I can't find the Steam sale? I'll go to the Steam page. Look, I'll go to the Steam page. I'll fuck your grandpa. Like some of these are just weird. Like, there's a lot of weird concepts out there for games, and this one is sort of like the average of all of the weird concepts. Like, this is, and so it's like having a game called Stroke College is not the same. Like, it's not out of place, is what I'm trying to say. So it's this? No, it's not that. Where's Grandpa? It's not out of place. Gran? Oh, fuck, where'd I save it? Where'd I save the image? Fuck. Look at this. Like, my game would not be out of place on the Steam marketplace when this exists. On a very funny side note, that would make a great medical game teaching you about how doctors and nurses work. Maybe even health lessons. Yeah, exactly. Like, you could actually take it all the way. Yeah. On the equally funny side, though, there's an adult visual novel that teaches you about the actual adult visual novel industry. Please tell me the name. If you have the name, please tell me the name. I'm collecting games for the one-off adult game stream, which I swear will actually happen. Because now that I have time, I can actually like finish things that I've been working on for a while now. Okay, I swear it'll happen. But I like that game in DM or here, right now. I want everyone to know. I want everybody to share and bask in the game. Because if they don't, then you know, like I feel like people would be missing out, right? But that's what we need. What we need is a game that's a bit like, it's like Trauma Center. Basically, what I want to make is a porn game Trauma Center. It's porn Trauma Center. It's porn Trauma Center. Eroge, sex and games make for sexy games. Eroge, sex and games. Eroge, sex and games make for sexy games. Eroge, sex and game make sexy games 3 on xvideo.com. Iori, 53 minutes, 720p. Eroge, sex and game Eroge, Sex and Game, Iori, 720p, 53 minutes X videos. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's it's a bit it's a bit vanilla. I'm gonna say it's a bit vanilla. I'm looking for like weird shit. You know what I mean? I want the weirdest shit that you could possibly have. Compared to that, should be like a real anatomy game that teaches anatomy and lets you do real actual surgery with all the depth and drama of Trauma Center series. Chet, I think I'm onto something. What if they're like a sex addict? Like your main character, Dick Cummings, is a sex addict and he can't stop having sex. So even though he's scrubbing up to go to surgery, he has like a massive boner and he's like, "Nurse, I need you to help me. I can't focus with this massive boner. I need you to make me come right now." And she's like, "Oh, okay, I'll make you come." And she just starts like slobbing on, right? And he's like, "Oh yes, thank you for making me come. Now I can focus on the surgery." And then it's like, "Oh no, I've got another boner. What will you know what I mean?" There's a possibility there. There's a possibility. Don't use my heart emote, please. Not like this. Don't use the heart emote for this. I'm begging you. It feels wrong. Anyways, before we continue on today, thank you for joining me in this sort of rant about the world as well as about sex games. I have a song for you today, actually. So I've actually prepared a number of playlists of songs. Please stop, please. This is it's so wrong. I don't want to see it, please. I'm begging you. Because please stop, please. This is not it's out of context. Please don't. You know that emote's gonna be ruined for me, right? Like it's not gonna look good for me anymore. Today is a fake. Well, it's a late Canada Day celebration. Okay, and so I thought I'd play some Canadian music for you from some artists that I found both recently as well as a while back. I really enjoyed the sounds of. I will say these songs are not particularly happy sounding. Like a lot of them are very sort of like, I don't know how to say it. It's not sad, but it's also not happy. It's almost it's very sensual, or maybe it's not sensual. I don't know, but it definitely feels and sounds like something. Okay, it's not the happiest thing in the world, but the key is that it sounds really really good. I really like these songs a lot, and I really like these two artists that I'm going to show you today. So to say it's a playlist for when before we play each game and when we end each game. :B. Everyone, please type :B. So I hope that you do enjoy :Circle. Okay, I, whoever you are, never say a single real word. I want you to only speak in emojis, like hieroglyphics. I don't want to see a single letter from you. I don't want to see a single thing. I want you to speak only in images from now on. Not even 7TV, like just straight up emojis and emotes. I don't. If you say a single letter, I'm gonna ban you. I will permanently ban you if you use a single letter. You're on the list because you're funny. Please enjoy this song. It's a fantastic song. It's got an interesting vibe to it, and it's the lyrics are very very. The lyrics are surprisingly solid too. Like I like the story that it's trying to tell, and I like the sort of the imagery that's trying to paint, and combined with the colors of the notes of the song, like it feels good. But it's not a happy song. It is kind of like a much more somber, sort of like downtrodden song. But again, very enjoyable. It's from a small band called The Cutting Room Floor, which, by the way, can I say something about band names? Holy shit, that's good. Holy shit, that's a good emoji. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. I'm about to wipe that smile off your face. Please enjoy. It's a very, very interesting song. I really like how sort of like melodic it is, and I really like how sort of it feels almost like bossa nova, but like the sad version of it. And then I really like the name of the song, as well as combined with the lyrics and sort of the way it's trying to say something through repetition. Like it's a very interesting construction where it sounds both like an ambient song, but it also is like a full it's it's a full song in its message, even though it's saying the same thing over and over, because that repetition, it feels like it's a part of the storytelling used as a device. Also, as you can probably tell, I don't think I have the right fonts on my system. I don't think OBS can handle some of these. Oh, a lot of these seem to break. Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Some of these seem to just break, so I'm not really sure why. But this one becomes yin and yang. This one becomes yin and yang, and it is yin and yang, but it's missing the face. So unfortunately, some of these don't work. But yeah, that group is making some very interesting music. It's weird though, because some of their songs do have lyrics, others don't, and it's I can't tell if it's just soundscapey stuff. But what I've noticed is that a lot. There's actually not that many bands that do that kind of like ambient noise type of music. But when they do, I tend to find that a lot of the songs, it no longer appeals to me. Like, it used to be that I could listen to that type of music where it was sort of like a droning repetition for a very long period of time. But now I only use it when I need to sort of block out other noise. Say I'm putting on headphones and I need to block up like other people talking. It's like filler noise to me now, even though in its construction it can sound very amazing, right? And I don't really know why. It could just be that my tastes have changed, but I think it's just because well, I'm basically trying to say I don't think it's my taste. I think it's just that the music itself, because it drones on over and over and over and has so much repetition, it sort of loses its meaning in a way, which is sort of true of many songs. Like it's rare to find a song that knows how to pace itself and knows when to switch tracks in order to feel a certain way. Why did you bring a gun inside the chat? I mean, to be fair, you you did the colon exclamation mark, but you also brought the magic wand first, right? And you shot the star out first. Oh man, but yeah, I had to figure out what fonts to get because some of these don't work. Like this one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. This one, by the way, this one looks like titties. This looks like barely censored titties. Oh, I know. Yeah, this actually does look like barely censored titties. Wait. I have the perfect accoutrement to that one. I have the perfect accoutrement to that one. Not that image, a different image. I have the perfect accoutrement to that one. If I blow up her face, if I just blow up her face to like a very large degree, massive degree, right? And then you have this over here, and then you have this, and then you you know what I mean? Like this is what it looks like. It looks like massive titties. It's like, you know what I mean? Look at the shape. It's a perfect titty. It's actually the perfect fit. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Anyways, before I get banned, let's move on. Okay, we're gonna move on now. One game isn't Canadian, but the ending game for today is Canadian. And again, thank you to Nagi for sending me this game. We're gonna start with some Rock Simulator 2 though, because apparently it's a puzzle game. So, chat, when you found this game yesterday, I couldn't get it out of my head. There's apparently something here, and I don't think this will go longer than like 20 minutes. Okay, that's why I'm throwing it in here. Because most of my time, I want to spend within Monbezo, because that game, it's gonna appeal to the car enthusiast here. Give me a moment to set things up. Chat, my computer is my CPU is now at 42 degrees Celsius because this game is so heavy of a game that it's killing my PC. It is this. I can't believe that this is real. I feel like for most idle games, right? If they don't do any gameplay, it's very hard to get into. But at the same time, it's like, what can you do for a game that's just about being a rock? I don't know. But I think they've done a lot. They just, I thought there'd be more puzzles. I was really hoping for like a massive piece of a puzzle game because, and I quote, this is some of the reviews, okay? A lot of the reviews mention the cool little puzzles that you can do, but it's like there's nothing there. It's literally just there for you to just do nothing with. Anyways, I have a song for you all before we move on. Again, this is a fake Canada Day-ish celebration because I wasn't here for Canada Day. We're never going to play an idle game ever again. This is from a different band, actually. It's from a very different band in terms of construction compared to the Cutting Room Floor. I think the Cutting Room Floor is much more They got a lot more ambient songs and they've got a lot more downtrodden songs. This band is interesting in that they have a lot more lyrical, melodical songs, but the lyrics and the melody is sort of, it's a fascinating construction that I really enjoy, and it sounds a lot like I don't know what genre it was, but it's very millennial coded, if that makes sense. It's a very millennially coded sound. And I remember when I was in like a small mini band with my buddy for like a very small amount of time. This is the kind of music that we wanted to make, but we couldn't make because he didn't know how to play guitar well. Like I'm over here singing and like doing my stuff, but he didn't know how to like make these like sounds. So I hope you enjoyed this one. The song is called Alrighty Aphrodite. Very, very fun title. I think the title is a masterpiece in and of its own self, in its own right. Already Aphrodite, which is also funny because I thought it was I thought it was Aphrodite, but it's Aphrodite here. Already Aphrodite by Peach Pit, and Peach Pit's entire discography is amazing. God, that song is really good. I really enjoy how weirdly complex the construction of that song is, and how well they use the moment of silence. It's them going into the main chorus and then just stopping at some point every single sound. It adds this like punctuation to it that is so strange and exciting and enticing. It's that like shift in expectations too, because you think you would keep on going into a more ambient sort of style of like rock song, as most rock songs do. But when it cuts out the first time, it's like, hey, listen, we're doing something here, okay? And then you have to listen, especially to both the bass and the drum and then the guitar. They each have their own solo section. It's fascinating how they all improvise throughout the entire song, and it gets more and more complex as they move on. At first, it's very sort of simple. You just have the melody and sort of the beat that's like going on and like just the like flow, and then all of a sudden it starts to widen its scope. It just keeps going further and like further. Why did I say bass like that? Like a fish bass. Oh wait, you're right. It's bass. Sorry, I don't know why. So, one, my pronunciation of words has been changing a lot, and I don't know why. I've ruled out neurological issues because I went and I did some tests. My doctor just said sometimes you just sound kind of funny now. I was like, yeah, okay, fine. But two, I think because I've been dealing with fishing for like a while now. So my friends and I, we've been discussing the possibility of us doing a 20-person fishing raid within Final Fantasy 14. So they've been telling me about like fish stuff. You're getting older, the fishing is taking over. No, but seriously though, yeah, there's something about, but like I don't want to go real fishing. Real fishing seems kind of boring, and like, well, not boring, but like I don't want to deal with like the mosquitoes and the stuff, and I don't want to stand there and have to talk to somebody that I don't really want to talk to, right? Like it's at least in my mind, if I fish online with my friends, that's fun. I would even go fishing with my friends in the real life. But the fact that we can fish online and then immediately switch to a game like League of Legends, that's a fun possibility, right? We don't have to go home and deal with the stuff later. Yeah. But also, I think virtual fishing is way more fun because you get to do way cooler things. Because in real life fishing, there's a limit to how many cool things that you could do. Like you can't just go on a fishing raid like in Final Fantasy 14. I don't think so. You can't just go on a 20-person boat without having at least a couple $1,000s, right? But I am getting fish brained. I'm also getting Mahjong brained, actually. I downloaded Mahjong Soul recently. And I've been trying to learn the game of Mahjong. If any of you have Mahjong Soul, please let me know. I know some of you do, and I'm willing to play Mahjong with all of you. You can't fish in the skies. Exactly, you can't fish in the skies IRL. That's the thing, right? It's like the video games have that ability to like flex everything about it, including the like gameplay. And all of a sudden, it becomes a much more engaging sort of like thing to do. Because in real life, the oceans are like the ice caps are melting, and the oceans are drying up, and soon we'll have no more land. And David Suzuki was right all along. But yeah, I really like the song. I like how the bass gets more complex, and I like how they start to improvise in a lot of different ways. And I like how they switch the mood of the song back and forth from like a very sort of almost depressing sound into something that feels almost triumphant in a way. What's crazy by the way is I can't believe that this song didn't get more popular, because these are the songs that released in 2017 when this song came out and when I first heard it on like a rock radio station. This was the year of Despacito. This was the year of Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. This was the year of Humble by Kendrick Lamar. This was the year of Attention by Charlie Puth. This was the year of Closer by the Chainsmokers. This was the year of Love Galore by SZA. This was the year of what else? What are the songs that I recognize from this list? Feels by Calvin Harris. This was also DNA by Kendrick. Really? Rolex. Wow, there's actually a lot of songs. But in that list of songs, it's crazy how this song, like, this song feels like a song that's made for today, but it's a 2017 song. If this song came out today in this day and age, I think it'd be a masterpiece, and it'd be number one on all the like charts, right? I can't believe how ahead of the time that they were with this sound. And this is their old album. Their newer stuff still sounds like this too, although they've taken like a much more, I guess, like romantic bend recently. I think because they all got married, so I think marriage changed them. Like, there's something about being an artist and suffering for your art. It does make your stuff more interesting because when you get married, all of your stuff sounds very romantic all of a sudden. But it doesn't take away how good it is to listen to and how interesting it is still. They're just sadly married. Why'd they have to get married? And now their songs sound so like nice and happy and all like romantic and like hopeful instead of like strange and almost like foreboding, but also like not bad. It's just kind of uneasy and unsteady. Like that's what the song sounds like, and that's what makes it so interesting. And then they throw in like these weird improvisations that just hit you, and it's fantastic. We're gonna move on now to Mon Bateau, which is my French pronunciation sucks, but basically it's French for my car. I've heard this game is like my summer car, and again, I was recommended this because it's a Canadian game about making maple syrup in a car. I don't know what to expect, but this was the game that I wanted to do for Canada that I couldn't, and I really wanted to play this game, so we're gonna give this a go. Apparently, this game is a bit of a masterpiece, but I don't know what to like. I can't imagine that a game that's just called My Car but in French would be particularly amazing, but at the same time, the concept of a game like My Summer Car, where you just build a car and you drive around, appeals to me. Because I've always said this, we need more commuter driving games. And what is a commuter driving game, if not this game? Give me a moment to set things up. And by the way, this game takes less space than Rock Simulator 2. I will never play a game like this ever again. I always get lulled into the premise of games like this in the hopes that maybe in some way I'll be able to enjoy it, but dear God, it's super. It's always a little bit painful to get into games like this where they have a million different fetch quests and small details that you have to get through, and just a long series of things that you have to do just to get started. Hey, if you like that type of game, it is good. I'm gonna go now, everyone, because that's all I had planned. Today was going to be like a slightly shorter day. Tomorrow we're back to the usual. I actually have something very different tomorrow in terms of tone and pace and sort of like timing. Because I've been meaning to try this out, but I never got the chance to beforehand. So again, there's just extra stuff. But it's also going to be kind of boring in its own way because it's also its own type of boring type of game. But I'm hoping this one's going to be a bit more fun and interesting for you all. Just know that today we saw the bottom of the idle game genre. Tomorrow we're going to see the peak. That's all I'm going to give you as a hint. I have one final song to say goodbye to you all, though. Again, also by Peach Pit. And I thought it was a very solid song choice because when you listen to the song lyrics, it's just imagine me. Just imagine that the song is about me and you, and like you remembering me and you wanting to be with me again, even though I'm gone. Even though we were never together, you're just a viewer and I'm a streamer. But like that's a parasocial, lie that I'm trying to sell you here. Okay. And I want you to listen to the song as it embodies this lie and makes you feel a certain way, even though you may have never felt this way, because I know none of you have ever been in a relationship. Please enjoy Shampoo Bottles by Peach Pit. I'm gonna need to ask. I'm gonna need to ask producers all around the world. I swear to God, if you fade out a song, fade it out way faster. You should not be going down 1 decibel every like 20 seconds. You should be going down like 1 decibel every like 5 seconds. The rate of decay on the decibels is so low that as you pull out, it's like I'm sitting there for 30 seconds waiting for the song to end. And I'm like, okay, is it over? Okay, is it over? Okay, is it over? And then it's finally over, and you're like, Jesus Christ, you can barely hear anything for the last 20 seconds, but I still gotta wait 20 seconds for the whole thing to be done. And there's no variation in the little pitch changes, so it's not like it's not like you're doing anything cool at the very end there in the final segment. It's fucking shit. It's a good song. It's a good song. There's a lot of different things about it, and I really like how they capture a lot of the emotion of like just missing somebody, missing the presence of someone. And I love the imagery of using the shampoo bottle. It's that thing that you don't really expect. It's that thing you don't really think about, and it's that thing that you don't really get to until you're much more until you're in the later stages of your relationship with someone. Because it's like it's those little things that they leave behind that catch you by surprise, right? When they're gone, you miss their presence. Obviously, you miss their touch, and you miss how they feel to be with you, to be around you, and you miss their like the warmth of their skin and like the taste of their saliva. But it's when you're in the shower and you look at their shampoo bottle and you're like, oh, I didn't throw that away, because you're only in your shower maybe like once a week. You know what I mean? That all the emotions come back and it hits you and you realize that they're never coming back. And that's a great song for that reason. It's a feeling that none of you will ever have. Anyways, bye everyone. See you all tomorrow. I will never play a survival game ever again.